In the fourth iteration of International Cafe podcast, we will touch upon many different topics of wide interest and I guess a lot of talking points in our local communities and local society. And my fellow guest, Danilo Bulatović, a representative student of SBC and Student Business Center and the University of Donja Gorica, I welcome you to the fourth episode of Café International podcast.
Thank you very much. First of all, I need to say that I enjoy every time when I need to deal with something with the Faculty of Economics of the University of Montenegro, and I always feel very welcome here. So it is so this time as well. So I hope we'll have a great conversation because there are, as you said, very interesting and important topic regarding youth in Montenegro at this point, and I think it is very important to speak about it and to share some thoughts maybe with young people and young students first of all, but later on also other young people that will be students in the coming period.
So, yeah, my excitement comes from the very fact that me and you have very different backgrounds, you from the private university and me from a state faculty, state-owned university. So we will touch, like you said, we will touch upon those kinds of topics. But once again, I want to extend my gratitude for accepting the invitation, and I very much appreciate the chance to talk with you. So I guess first part, let's give you the spotlight. Present yourself in a manner as much as possible or as little as you want to present yourself. Who is Danilo Bulatović?
Okay. What can I say about myself? I can say that I graduated from International Economics, Finance and Business at the University of Donja Gorica, as you mentioned, but as the student of the UDG, I had the opportunity to attend some other universities through Erasmus Plus mobilities, through some other initiatives that we had. So I had the opportunity to spend half a year at the University of Valladolid in Spain, which is a state university. So I had some different perspective into the education in a European Union country at the state university, which I think was very important for me to, just gain some experience from different points of view and from different sectors. And also during my studies, I had the opportunity to spend 2 times. I was going to United States. I had the opportunity to visit China, and I had the opportunity to, educate and work on myself in different countries in Europe. All of those were mostly thanks to UDG international cooperation and membership in important international communities. And what I like to mention when I present myself is that I opened my own company when I was a third year student at university, and this company was focused on project management and project consulting, and this company is still existing. So it will be soon 4 years since we established that. And I established it with my colleagues from the university, which was very exciting at that period. And right now I'm almost done with my master thesis, and I suppose I will get my master diploma, master degree in 1 month, less than 1 month. So later on we will see the direction where I will be going. But I focused myself on project management, and I'm focused also on educational sector in Montenegro. So I'm dealing with this from different points of view. I am a president of Student Forum at University of Donja Gorica, and I'm also with my colleagues leading the student network of the university, or actually all the student organizations within the University of Donja Gorica. So I'm working a lot with young people. I'm also assisting our management and our staff at the university, and also I'm active in private sector. So what can I say is that I enjoy working with young people, and I think and I believe I will be going this path in the future as well.
I will definitely say the track record speaks for itself. I can see how active you are, how initiative, how much you are just on the go, ready to fly. But let's touch upon the University of Donja Gorica first, and mainly the student organization that function under the roof of University of Donja Gorica, or are in close collaboration with student organizations from the University of Donja Gorica. Let's talk about them first. And where are you mostly involved in those, or are you just someone who oversees all the projects and all the day-to-day or all the day-to-day activities that those student organizations partake in?
Yeah. Well, the first organization that was established at the University of Donja Gorica is Student Business Center, and this organization appeared as a reaction to the needs of students of the University of Donja Gorica regarding work opportunities. So the organization was founded in a way that we wanted to support students from the university in, seeking for part-time jobs and full-time jobs after the graduation, and also some volunteering opportunities during the studies. We are talking about period back to in 2007 and 10th and this period. So the organization started working like that. Later on, the organization evolved into the organization that is writing down and implementing European projects funded by Erasmus Plus program, projects funded by Interreg and other big European funds. So what is important is to mention that these huge projects we started dealing with after some years were all like led by students. So the Student Business Center is completely led by students, and every time we had also, of course, we had some more experienced students at the top, let's say, but we didn't function like this. We have a head that is responsible for everything, and we are working under this smart brain, let's say. So we are all equal, and everyone who wants to express the initiative and to go with something new has complete and full support by the, let's say, more experienced members who are here. Later on in 2019, the university established entrepreneurial nest of the University of Donja Gorica, and this was established not as a hub, but we more like to say as a nest for a new student entrepreneurship and startup ideas to be born. So this was established into 2019, and since that period, all the organizations that existed and that appeared later were under the umbrella of this entrepreneurial nest. So the entrepreneurial nest was the space and spot and spiritual space for the development of students, startups, and students' entrepreneurship ideas, and also all the others initiatives and opportunities for students. So we got one European funded project that allowed us to establish one more organization that is called Junior Achievement Montenegro. This is a worldwide franchise that has national offices into almost 200 countries in the world. So we established the office in Montenegro, and why this was important for our students, it's because we became a member of Junior Achievement Worldwide Network after 1 year of observing status. And this allowed us to work closely with worldwide companies such as JP Morgan, Dell Computers, Delta Airlines, and others, which are supporting this franchise. And this allowed us to bring some new funds in for developing and improving the opportunities for young people in Montenegro, and especially at our university. But also we have students forum at the university. This is we have our own name. It's like student parliament here at the University of Montenegro, and this is the body that is responsible for all the students' rights and responsibilities. And also here we have a lot of round tables where we talk about important things that are touching our students day to day. And we have a lot of organizations, let's say, but all of these organizations are somehow different in a way, and the goals they have. So we have Student Business Center that is let's say the root of our students and the work opportunities, and that is the organization that follows complete process, for example, of work and travel program at our university, because we really care about the process our students are going through every year. We care about the agencies they apply through for attending this program, because there is a lot of some happenings that were not fair towards students, and we are trying somehow to have the control and to care about what is going on with our students since the day they apply for this and until they come back from the United States. So we are working on a lot of things, but the most important goal of all of these initiatives is to provide opportunities to our students, and also to have students leading these things, and have students starting from some basic tasks. When we have I don't know, daily activities with some basic tasks they need to do, and until the third year, until they graduate, they have the opportunity to perform with more and more responsible and important tasks. And in this way, I think they are gaining this experience that is very important and that is necessary to be successful young person in the 21st century. Because at the university, we really and truly believe that knowledge itself is not enough anymore, and you need to have strong intensity of your life after, besides the knowledge that you are gaining at university. So you need to work on yourself and to gain experience through some other initiatives, hobbies, and everything you have. So this is what we are trying to offer to our students. And what I saw in these 5 years, I'm a member of student network of the University of Donja Gorica. I saw that all students then that went through these organizations really actively all the time, they made big careers. They made big careers. They made big moves. They have strong ambitions. They don't want to lead some local office or company or to get full-time job at government institution, and that's all. They have ambitions. They know they can compete with students overworld, and they know that they are as good as they can be. So it is not important what are you doing, what do you study, where do you study. It is important how much do you invest in yourself, in everything you're working on. So I believe for this reason they have a lot of opportunities to improve themselves by being members of our organizations.
So what you touched upon is that I am mostly excited to talk about is exactly that initiative that exists in the young people. I'm from what I can tell, most of these organizations that work under the University of Donja Gorica are focused on essentially building up the young entrepreneurs, people with great ideas, potentially, many different innovations. And we've seen some events happening where students were able to present their ideas, their business plans. And care to touch upon that?
Yeah, of course. So we believe that entrepreneurship is not only opening a company. Entrepreneurship, in our opinion, is a lifestyle. It is how do you perform your all the activities daily. It is how do you how you how do you study, how do what is your approach towards everything you are doing. So I believe that in these organizations we are trying to wake up students. We are trying to show them that it is not the society who should tell them what they're capable of or not capable of. It only depends on you. So when you start studying at the university, it doesn't matter which university it is, I'm telling students that I'm working with, I'm telling them, okay, now this is now, and this is where your future begins. So in the future you will live into the consequences of decisions you are making now. So you're at the beginning and you have the opportunity to build up your life as you want. So don't listen to others. Don't listen others telling you your generation that is destroyed by technology, that is destroyed by COVID and stuff like this. It is not true. You are the generation that builds up your own careers, and you are the only ones who can judge about yourself what can you achieve or not achieve in your life. So I believe here we have the problem of the society, because in primary schools and young schools we have the situation where our students need to learn a lot of facts, a lot of just to collect a lot of facts that are not useful in life. And there is very few or not at all professors and teachers who are telling them how to what approach to have and how to think about the career and everything. So here I'm telling, with huge respect to all national institutions, but I'm telling to students, if you, for example, have a dream, you want to be on the top of, let's say, the bank, you apply for the Faculty of Economics. Okay, if that is what you want to build up your career, where you want to build up your career, okay, don't make the ambition, I want to work in the National Bank of Montenegro. make ambition, you want to work into the World Bank or European Central Bank or Deutsche Bank or whatever. Okay, don't have the local ambitions. We have in Montenegro a lot of institutions and companies and organizations that are worldwide organizations when we are telling about their goals, about their mission, about their vision and everything. So you don't need to be in Brussels to be worldwide organization or European organization. But when we are when we are talking about young students, there is a lot of people who are telling them in early age that you should seek for big dreams. And here at the university, this time I had the opportunity to talk with all the freshmen that apply for the university, and I saw they just need to find someone or something that will show them what they are capable of, because they are not aware of what they are capable of. So for example, you mentioned one of the projects we are organizing every year that is called Idea Land, where students are presenting their ideas in front of investors, and then investors are representatives of Montenegrin and also regional and European companies. And then we have the quotation where these investors are offering money, and the one who offers the most is actually investing this amount into the idea, and they are buying the right to talk to that student about the implementation of the idea later. So they're not buying the idea, they're buying the right to negotiate about the idea. And here, for example, last year we had a student of food technology, food safety and ecology who applied. So at the very beginning, you would say that is, let's say, the branch where you are dealing with food. You don't have many opportunities, let's say, to establish a business or to deal with some other things. So this girl who applied for this competition, first of all, she got huge amount of funds to realize this idea, and she got the right to compete at the biggest European fair of entrepreneurship. At this fair, she became the most young woman leader in Europe. So she saw that if you deal with something that is specific, it doesn't matter. You still can be the best in Europe when you are dealing with this. We had the other student who applied for 2 faculties, and he dropped off from both of these. And later on, after 2 years, he applied for Faculty of International Systems and Information Systems and Technologies at the University of Donja Gorica, where he started working a little bit with our organizations, and he liked it. He liked it, and he was improving a lot. And after 2, let's say, unsuccessful applications at different faculties, here he applied with his idea at this competition, and he won really huge amount of funds for realization of the idea. And he later on won one more competition that is completely different, where he also was working in a team with some other guys, and we saw actually that his viewpoint towards life, towards studies, towards everything changed completely. So we now have a student who is very ambitious, who became aware of all the opportunities and of everything he can achieve. Before this, he dropped off from 2 faculties, and he had a strong pressure from the family, from the society, from everyone around. But here he proved them wrong. He just proved that it is not important what do you study and where do you study. It is important, just to find this ambition gainer that is making you seeking towards your goals. So I think this is where these projects are important, because these are only 2, for example, these are only 2 examples where we had students changing completely from something that was unsuccessful, or from some viewpoints where they thought, okay, this is my branch, I should deal with this, and it has nothing to do with some other things. So if we have a girl that her major is food technology, and this girl becomes the best young leader, a young female leader in Europe, so then you cannot tell me, if you're studying economics or computer science or whatever else, that there is no such opportunities for you. So we are trying to show this to our students, that it's not important what do you do. It is important just to know why do you do everything you're doing daily. So whatever you do, you need to answer to yourself, why? What is my goal? So I was telling students, if you want to join our organizations, you need to answer to yourself, why do you want to be here? Why are you spending your time with us? So my example was when I applied for the university, I thought this is going to be the faster way to get in touch, in closer touch with my professors, and this was what was important for me at the very beginning of the studies. So I'm telling them, okay, make a goal. If you are playing basketball, if you came to the class today, if you work into the student organizations, you need to answer to yourself, why are you doing all of this? If you have a goal you want to achieve and you are doing something that has nothing to do with this, you're wasting your time. If you think it is more useful for you to drink coffee today instead to listen to the class that you have no interest in this, you came to spend 1 hour and a half and you don't listen to it, you have some other preferences, okay, don't waste your time, invest that money more properly, more clever, and just have the goal and go towards that goal.
So I'd say that everything that all the organizations are doing on the University of Donja Gorica is a great way to showcase to students, hey, studies are important, but they're not a magical door that opens up to the your way to this company or this company, whichever you call this. And I'm glad that students that are behind these organizations taking this hard stance, because I think that in our culture, definitely there exists this formulated pathway to success. Go to this local university, study hard, meet professors, yada yada. Boom, you're, like you said, in a government institution and are working there. That's comfort. And I guess the main takeaway from your from this long, I'd say, monologue is comfort is a mind killer. It's a mind state. It's a mind state that you should never be in. And I'm glad that something like that exists in our community, because it's a rare sight to see, a rare sight to behold. But I guess the main thing that interests me, right? We're talking about student organizations from University of Donja Gorica. And as someone who is not from the private university, someone who comes from a state faculty, state university, this eternal stigma, he's a student from private university.
Yeah.
I guess it is on a downwards trajectory, but is alive and well.
Yeah.
How much are students still facing that stigma? And does it present an obstacle whenever they're done with their studies and projects that they take upon during their studies? And what is the solution?
Well, that is an eternal stigma, definitely. But I think it is way different today, and as the time flows, I think it is way different every year. So when, for example, the first generations applied for attending the University of Donja Gorica back into 2007, I think it was the hardest for them. It was very hard to explain to your family, to your cousins, to your society, you are going into the private university, since you have the strong state university that exists here for years. Later on, after let's say 15 or maybe more years, when I applied for the university back into 2019, I was the best student from my family, and I was one of the best students at the high school where I graduated. And it was also hard for me. The society was making a pressure, why are you doing this? But I felt this is the path I should follow, because I had some opportunities to attend some events as a high schooler, and I felt this is something that I want to do. And today, as I was telling you about the example of the girl who is studying food technology, today it is not important, in my opinion, where do you study and what do you study and which university you are attending. It is only important, do you know what you are doing and why are you doing this? So you have a lot of examples of students who dropped off from both state and private universities. You have a lot of examples of successful students at both universities. Today, the generation that, for example, that is the last generation that applied for the university, for them it's way easier. Why? It's because I believe in our case, because the University of Donja Gorica made a really strong international appearance and made really strong international connections. So We are member, the university actually is the member of strong national science organizations and consortiums and everything. So, for example, we are a member of ANSO, that is consisted by 50 educational institutions of the world, and many others. After this, what was very important, Erasmus partnerships with all the universities in Europe, not all of them, but a lot of universities in European countries, and also strong connections. We are the first private university, first university in general that started cooperating with China when no one was working with them. We saw the potential, and we saw that Chinese education and Chinese market in general will be very important for young people from Montenegro in the coming years. So we were the first one who started this cooperation, and I had the opportunity to visit Beijing Union University and some other institutions in China, and I saw the strong respect and the strong will from their side to work with us, because we started working with them when no one wanted to. Now, after 15 years, everybody sees how big growth China made in every sector. Education is one of them. We all know that education in China is uh, very good, and we have really strong partnerships with them. With some universities, we have double degree diplomas, and we have also established a couple of years ago a strategic partnership with Arizona State University and with Sintana Alliance that actually put us into the situation where we offer double degree diplomas to our students with the Arizona State University, and also mobility opportunities to go and spend part of your studies at the University of Donja Gorica in Arizona, and to get double degrees from both universities. This is very important because it is not the brain drain. It is providing your students opportunity to go in and to educate themselves in one of the best universities in the world, because Arizona State University is number one in the United States for I don't know how many years in a row when it comes to innovation and online teaching. So it is the opportunity to offer your students a really strong quality of education, and to make them come back and improve the society. This is important because we brought different perspective. We brought the perspective where students can go and work on themselves and improve themselves abroad, and see how everything can function in some other ways. Actually, you are not able to see if you don't experience something that is not your comfort zone, which I believe Montenegro is. So all students should have the opportunity to improve themselves in some period of their life abroad. And why is this important? Because this is actually how you offer your students a different point of view, and how you offer them perspective that is not, okay, I need to graduate and go with this diploma, apply for a job in government institutions, and that's all. So what I'm seeing right now, that is my personal opinion, is that we have a really strong political influence into the society in general, and also on the young people in Montenegro. And I see more and more young people going very early into politics. I see a lot of young people who didn't make any results in the career, who didn't try to make something, in your career, going into politics as a way for you to find this comfort zone, because you don't believe in your skills. We have a lot of examples, not everyone, but a lot of examples like this. So I believe it is not how the society and where the society should go. So just think about when you saw last time, let's say the main page at newspapers or media release or anything, where the culture is in focus, where successful young people are in focus. Never. Like in Montenegro, every time it's about politics, it's about what elections we have these days, it's about what happened today at the National Assembly or something like this. But for example, culture, theater, students, youth initiatives are never in focus. So for example, we had this project that you mentioned earlier, Idealand. European Commission actually said this is the best project in Montenegro when it comes to entrepreneurial spirit and entrepreneurial thinking, and it is in top 15 in Europe. So, for example, no one was talking about this in Montenegro. We received the congratulations and the messages from our international partners, but in Montenegro, for example, there was no media that was talking about this, not because it's our initiative, but because we have a lot of initiatives at University of Donja Gorica, at University of Montenegro, at other places that should be spoken about. So I think here we have a problem, and I think this is something that we are trying to change when it comes to our students since the start of their studies. And I believe even this is hard for us because I think this approach that, for example, Scandinavian countries started long ago, this approach should start with young people much before applying for the university. At high school, maybe at primary school as well, you need to teach young people how to use skills and knowledge they are going to gain at your place.
So we initially, during the conversation, touched upon the topics of the stigma that exists around the private university students. We touched upon what the student organizations are doing in the University of Donja Gorica, and I'd say that the mission of all student organizations, regardless of which faculty or university they're connected to, have the same mission of promoting this entrepreneurship spirit in the young people. And it's great to see. Honestly, that was not as present as it is right now when you and me were starting out our pursuit of knowledge is on different faculties. What I wanted to touch upon, and what you mentioned already during the previous question, is the brain drain.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you mentioned the brain drain. And where is that line drawn between, oh, this is a brain drain, many young people are going out to the world, or where is that line between that stance and the stance, oh, they're experiencing the world and they're bringing back the experience in Montenegro?
Okay, so before I start with brain drain, I need to add just one more sentence is when we are talking about entrepreneurial spirit, for example, it starts from the organizations. So we don't have the budget from the university which we use to plan the activities and tell other people, to be entrepreneurial, you need to have this approach and everything. So, for example, the university don't allocate any budget for us. So we need to fight and find the ways how to get fundraising for initiatives we are doing with. So regarding this, we need to work daily on ourselves. We need to work daily to stay in touch with Montenegrin companies, to write down project proposals and everything. So this is the approach that needs to start from the very top, and this is why we have maybe successful model until now. When it comes to brain drain, it is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I believe here in this community everybody has really wrong approach towards the brain drain. So, for example, everybody thinks it is the Ministry of Education, right now Science and Innovation, who is responsible about what is happening with brain drain. I think every society actor has a role into the brain drain in Montenegro. So, for example, I wrote down one article back into 2021, I think, about brain drain in Montenegro. That was actual topic at that period, and I wrote down the article how, for example, something that at the first view doesn't have much connections with brain drain affects actually at the long term invisibly the brain drain in Montenegro. So, for example, we had the situation where the state brought progressive taxation into the country. Before that, we have a proportional taxation where you have the equal percentage into every amount of salary, for example, someone is getting. And after that, you brought progressive taxation where you have higher percentage for higher salaries. So at the first point of view, you don't see any connections between this measure and, for example, brain drain in Montenegro. But let's talk about economic theories before everything. If you are a young person and you are working hard on yourself, you are working hard to get, for example, degree, to graduate, to get master degree later on, what state is telling you? The state is telling you, okay, as much as you work on yourself, as much as you are improving yourself, as much as you can expect, for example, more gains in the future, then the salary will punish you more. the country, the state will punish you more. So if you work strong and you, for example, get master, you get PhD, you get better paid, state is actually punishing you because state is taking bigger percentage from you. And what the state is telling to young people, don't work hard on yourself, or if you work hard on yourself, go somewhere else where you will be able to keep more money for the things you are doing. So for example, here you had two completely different things that have no touch with each other, but when you think, when you see some invisible things, when you think about it, you have really strong this you have really strong miscoloration between the policy state is bringing, and later on they were saying these measures are besides all for young people to stay in Montenegro. So how young person will stay in Montenegro if I have the same salary here, for example, and in some other country in Europe, and here I will keep more because the taxation is not that big as in Montenegro. So this is only one example. I was mentioning some others as well. So you have a lot of examples where some policies are being brought without consultations with young people, without having a dialogue with young people, without having student organizations, in focus when you are talking about policies about youth. So if you want to talk about youth, you cannot bring policies without consulting
Exactly.
youth. So this is the problem we have. This is the problem because no one is thinking about long-term effects of some decision they make. Everybody, because of allocating political power and something else as well. Every time it can be different reason, but everybody wants results as soon as possible. But this is not good when we are talking about the positions of young people in Montenegro, because, for example, South Korea, when they made the strong changes into their educational system, they started the process that lasted 35 years. So we in Montenegro, we want to change everything in 1 year, in 4-year mandate period, and it is not possible. So no one is thinking about long-term effects, and I think this is how we should start bringing policies up. If we want to keep young people in Montenegro, we should really think about young people, and we should consult young people what they think about the initiatives we are dealing with.
So, government policies on a national level, conformity that exists in our culture, killing of the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Main takeaways from this conversation so far. We're talking about big problems. Student organizations from the University of Donja Gorica are dealing with it. Students or organizations from University of Montenegro are dealing with it. Do they need more collaboration amongst themselves, so as a way to bring up their voice towards the people that are essentially bringing the policies down, that are damaging essentially young people's potential and ideas and initiative?
Yeah, so these are all topics that deal with young people in all Montenegro. So I believe that we need to keep working. We need to keep working together. We had always a nice cooperation with student organizations from the University of Montenegro. Especially in the last period, we intensified a lot this cooperation, because before it was only when it comes to some important things that are happening right now and that affect students in Montenegro. Now we have a more intensive cooperation between ourselves, and also with student organizations from the Faculty of Economics of the University of Montenegro. So I believe we need to maybe even make a step forward and make this cooperation more intense in future, but not only by talking, but by writing down projects together in order to bring our power from our side to the society to change. So we have a lot of, I would say, talkers here in the country, but I believe and I'm seeing that in the last couple of years especially, and in the last period especially, the last period, student organizations from both University of Montenegro and University of Donja Gorica were making some significant changes when it comes to young people in Montenegro, and I believe by intensifying our cooperation we can bring much more useful and good things for youth in Montenegro.
To round up all the great topics that we've covered, you are, of course, familiar with the whole project of ME Study in English. And what is your role as a representative, and how are you helping in promotion of the said program in University of Donja Gorica and on a national stage, I guess?
Yeah, so why I became a member of this project on behalf of the University of Donja Gorica, it's because from year to year we have more and more international students applying for our study programs at the university. And also we think it is very important to listen to student needs when it comes to changing any policies and changing any curriculums and anything else that is in focus, for example, of this project. So we have one study program that is completely fully in English, and we have some master programs that are partially being, realized in English language, and we have other programs where we are trying to bring English as much as possible because of this cooperation with Arizona State University that also is asking us to do this. But I believe this internationalization process is also essential for young people here. Why? It's because with English today you don't have the advantage. You're just dead without it, having English. So if you ask me, or if you ask the top management of our university, we would make all study programs at the University of Donja Gorica completely in English. But why it is hard? First of all, because we wouldn't have students from Montenegro, because this is the society, this is the we didn't have such things before, and you cannot make these changes that strongly at the very beginning. So I think it is very important to keep dealing with internationalization process. What I was talking to your representatives from student organizations from here is that internationalization is not only making English present into your curriculum, teaching students in English language, or making the opportunities for students to go and educate abroad. Internationalization is also establishing a platform for students from other countries to come to Montenegro. This is very important, and this is something where I see the possibilities to intensify the cooperation between our student organizations, and this is something that can bring really nice initiatives in the coming period. So this is why we are here, and I think this project is also useful not only because of improving the capacities of both universities to perform education in English, but also because of bringing together Faculty of Economics of the University of Montenegro and UDG, and also student organizations of both universities. So this podcast today is also the result of this project initiative. So we wouldn't have this opportunity to exchange ideas and exchange our points of view regarding student organizations on private and public university, and also regarding everything we are dealing with daily, all in order to improve the young people in Montenegro, and to improve the society where they need to grow up and to work on themselves.
So, like you said, the podcast essentially is putting all the stigmas aside. We're sick of it. We're all sick of it. Finding solutions that work for us, work for every student, regardless of where he's coming from. And, during these podcasts, I usually struggle with outros. But you perfectly rounded up for me. So I guess essentially you made my job easier. Thank you for collaborating with me.
You're welcome.
Once again, thank you, extending gratitude that you accepted the invitation. I'm glad we talked about these topics, mostly during the previous podcasts. We focused on, what people from other countries think, experiences of our students in other countries. But I guess, we need to touch upon the local controversies and essentially questions regarding younger people and their potential and how to fix it, essentially. Glad to have talked with you, and I'll be seeing you around, Danilo.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation once again. It was a real pleasure, and I hope we'll have more opportunities to speak up together about important topics when it comes to young people and student population in Montenegro. So thank you.